Adam, I'm so glad to meet you. How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
I heard you in Thailand.
Yes, I
How
was.
long were you there?
2 years.
Amazing. What was it like? What were you doing?
I was studying yoga and meditation.
You're a good guy. You could really help me some way. What did you like about yoga?
I liked that it helped me understand that there was more to life than just what we can see.
You're doing yoga. Now what about the other things they tried to give you, like the idols and stuff like that? What did you do about that?
I kept my distance from a lot of the philosophical concepts.
Pushed it away, right?
Sure.
Okay. But did you learn about pranayama? Prana? What's prana?
It's an energy.
And what energy?
It's called the vital energy of the universe.
Vital energy of the universe. When they meditate, it's a custom for them to touch their thumbs to their forefingers like that to keep the prana from leaving their body and draining them. We call the vital energy of the universe God. He's the life of all worlds. And we teach you don't have to hold your finger to your thumb to hold them in your body. Did you hear about Kundalini?
Yes.
What's that?
I heard about it, but I didn't study it. I'm not exactly sure what it is.
The chakras, you hear about the chakras? What are they?
They're energy centers on the body.
In the body. And how many of them in the body?
6,
And the one on top is 7.
7.
Right. And what happens is that when you do Kundalini yoga or do yoga, that energy rises up and goes through each chakra and makes something happen until you go out the top. They try to attain God realization through raising the Kundalini. The Kundalini power is also called the serpent power. They say that you'll have God realization, you'll see that you're God, you won't die. There's someone in the Bible that says exactly the same thing
Really?
in the Garden of Eden. The serpent.
Wow.
The serpent says this to Eve, if you eat of that fruit, you'll realize that you're like God and you won't die. We call it the serpent too, but we say don't go by that guy.
Wow.
So we say the serpent's a bad guy, they say it's a good guy. There are a lot of things that they do there that we say are not right. But the problem is when you do yoga, which is physically okay, you also get these concepts with it. You can't help. They come with it. The New York Tax Department had a court case with the yoga studios. And they decided that the yoga studios do not have to pay taxes. Why? Because they are primarily meditative and spiritual teachings and not primarily physical teaching. So even in New York City, where they're just teaching physical yoga, they still have the reputation for historically being teaching meditative process. Oxford University Press put out a collection of information on religions, and they have 3 PhDs from different studies, doctors of philosophy, that came and gave over their conclusions. And they decided, they said that the primary vehicle for the spreading of Hinduism today is the practice of yoga. So we see even the people that are practicing innocently, like you did, are still getting Hinduisms into their system. One of the teachings they have is that the highest light possible in visions is blue, the color blue, the top of the high chakra. The Zohar Chadash says all colors and visions are good, except blue. Watch out for it, it's the lowest light. Wow. And you must pray hard not to see it. So what's my point? You've learned concepts and nobody's been able to straighten them out for you. Even though the physical bending of yoga might be perfectly all right, if you're a rubber tube. But if you're a yogi, you're going to get these concepts with it. One of the yoga postures called salutation to the sun. Have you heard that?
I've heard that.
The real name still today in India is worshiping the sun. But they translate it this way so the Westerns wouldn't be turned off. Did they teach you about detachment?
They did.
If somebody with the Eastern philosophy goes out into the woods and they see a beautiful flower and they love it very, very much, what would they do?
They would try not to be affected by its beauty.
They would leave it. If a Westerner would go see that flower and he loved it very much, what would he do?
He might pick it.
He'd take it. If a Jew would go see that flower, what would he do? He would give it some water. And that's our job. Our job is not to leave the world. Our job is to make the world a better place.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you're going to do a good job of it.
I'll Amen.
Amen.